It's been a long time. First of all, I gotta say Happy New Year's to everybody. I don't even know if anyone is gonna be logging on to this or whatever, because it's been a while since I did a vlog. So I'm not over here. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Don't let me drag you. So, as y'all know, tomorrow is D-Day for me. It's Divorce Day. Hey girl. Hey Tina, how are you? Happy New Year's. Yes. New Year 2018. 2018. I'm going to tell y'all, I don't know how y'all New Year's went, but I was asleep and Symphony was just hopping all over the place. And my cousin came in the room and was like, Happy New Year's. And we bought the New Year's in prayer. I woke up for that and then I went right back to bed. So I don't know how everybody else's New Year went. So, y'all know that tomorrow the judge is pretty much going to be reading. I'm walking solo too, so sorry if I'm going back and forth. I was in bed on YouTube for New Year's. My husband was asleep and so were the kids. I'm trying to tell you, it's relaxing. A lot of people I know, I'm like, they was just sleeping like, yeah, you know. So, I'm sitting up here right now walking solo. And y'all know tomorrow I go for my divorce, which when I look at it, the judge has already wrote up the divorce any daggone way. So, okay. So, I had to tell some people that, well, I'm not going to be around on Thursday because, I'm going in for my divorce. And you know what I've been getting a lot? I've been getting congratulations. Is it me? Is it me? I'm just like, is that what people say to people that's getting a divorce? Congratulations. Okay, we can go out for shots. I will say that I'm really excited that I will no longer have to be in court anymore. But divorce is horrible, man. And if you're married, I pray you will never have to experience it because it's horrible. You have to look at your daughter, your kids, your sons, and know that your parents won't ever be together. And then you have to explain the situation. And, nobody wants a failed marriage. I was looking at this gentleman, and he was talking about how marriage, divorce is like a death. And to be honest with you, y'all, that's exactly what it feels like. Sometimes the feelings go away, but they do come back because it's like you're facing a death, like something has died. um so to go in front of a judge and for the judge to say you are now divorced is totally opposite from I now pronounce you man and wife. And it's one of those things that I realize nobody really signs up for a divorce, especially the spouse that didn't want the divorce. And I'm also realizing that it is a lot of spouses out there that file against their other spouse for a divorce. Like, I never wanted a divorce with my husband. I never did. And, somebody can say, like, hold on, y'all. I gotta get this stuff up. Wait a minute. I'll come back for it. Somebody can say, like, everything's cool. That's how you go. But the truth of the matter is that is a hurtful thing. If I could just not, sorry, Mom, I'm praying for you and your daughter. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm so grateful for her. I'm so grateful for Symphony. I am. I am so grateful for Symphony. I just, I realized too, because I was looking at this picture, I can imagine how horrible it feels. I followed your video since way before this in my heart. The Symphony, using one mostly. You're amazing. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's messed up. I mean, it's like, what do you say about this, I'm like, okay, when people say they say congratulations on the new baby, congratulations for newlyweds, but now I'm hearing congratulations for your divorce. It's like one of those things where you're like, if God hates it, should I be? I mean, is it a congratulations? I guess it's a congratulations that I'm moving forward. I will say that, y'all. I will say that I just feel like I am happy that I will no longer have to face a divorce. I mean, I will no longer have to go to court. I am so happy about that. But am I happy about the divorce? If I was being fake with y'all, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm happy, y'all. Sorry, excuse my mouth. Heck yeah, y'all. Yeah, I'm happy. No, but no, I'm going to be very honest with y'all. It's messed up. It's a hurtful feeling. It is. It's messed up. I feel like I don't have no more tears to cry, though. I could try, but, it's really messed up. I had a dream one time. Matter of fact, it was recently. Have you been in contact with your husband? I haven't been allowed to speak to my husband, Matthew, Michael Hines, since he left the house. His father makes sure that I'm not allowed to speak to my own husband. No. But I haven't been in contact. You're a great wife. God definitely faithful. Remember, he will bless you and guide your steps. I know many people who ended up in marriage and suicide. Oh my gosh. I can imagine, because that hurt is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Nobody gets married just to say, hey, I don't want to do it. And it's always the other spouse. I mean, sometimes it may be both spouses because they're being selfish. But nobody signs up when you both walk down the aisle and you say, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with this person and I trust this person. And now the same person is punishing you to the point they're like, I'm going to divorce you. It's hurtful as heck. It's hurtful. I can't even be like, you know what I'm saying? It's hurtful. It's so hurtful. But yeah, it's one of those things. So yeah, tomorrow my mom is going to come with me. I don't even know what time we're supposed to be there. Y'all, if it was up to me, I'd be like, just send me an email and tell me what happened. It's one of those things where you get butterflies in your stomach because it's like you are walking the 8-mile walk. You're a dead man walking. It's like you're going to the execution station. It's like, I don't know how everybody else explains it, but this stuff really hurts because it's not only just on paper that you're getting a divorce. It's like, this is going to affect our family, and even though, I see that in the future, God is going to restore with my own house with Symphony. It's just a mere fact that we are now a part of the divorce crew. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, Lord, did I really have to be a part of that? Like, dang. I mean, and sometimes, I'm not going to lie because I got so frustrated, but I said, you know what? I'm going to continue on praying. So sometimes, and I'm going to be transparent, I'll be like, Lord, can you just do a miracle? Maybe he'll get up there and he'll say, I don't want a divorce from my wife. Maybe he'll do that. And maybe it's just like it's not in God's will for it to happen. But I'm like this. I gotta know, which means I gotta pray until it's done. It's done. Because I feel like if I didn't pray, even on the last day, that one prayer could have went through. So yeah. So I mean, it's hurtful. I remember when he first left, I was feeling like when he first left, I was feeling like, oh God, I hope my husband comes back. I was scared. I was so scared. This is on like 100 turbo. Like, it's more so like my heart is just pounding. Like, when I go before the judge, it's like do. Not the mere fact that they may want me to pay for stuff, but it's the mere fact that we're getting a divorce. We're getting a divorce. I mean, I'm being transparent with y'all. You know, you just imagine you walk down this aisle and you just say to yourself, you not even say to yourself, you're like, this is the man that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. And then as a Christian woman, you already know that marriage is a one-time deal because that's what Jesus says. So you just like, man, come on now. But anyway, so, and then at the same time, I'm going to be transparent with y'all. I feel like the way my father-in-law did it, like, not only did you hire these attorneys, but you did it, you used your hand to do it. And God says, what he put together, let no man, I'm so sorry for your pain, you'll never deserve this. No, you know your strength. And I definitely praying for y'all. I understand how you feel. It's hurtful. It's hurtful. But I just feel like my father-in-law, like, my husband didn't have the money to do a divorce. You put up $26,000 to do the divorce. You couldn't allow healing to just manifest in our marriage. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't allow for God to work out our differences. You had to step in and pay $26,000. Hateful. You know, I'm like, come on, man. You could at least let my husband, you could at least let him, Matthew, just think about it. But you had to rush in and instead of allowing him to make his own decisions. But at the same time, he's grown enough and old enough to tell his father to stop. Everybody has free will. I understand that. It's just that I feel like when we got married, and they kept saying that we got married July 21st, but we got married July the 20th, 2012. When we got married and walked down that aisle, his father was against it. My fiance left me pregnant, and were they approving a divorce? Oh, man, they love the simple fact that we're getting a divorce. They love it. They love it, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure they're sitting here and his father is just waiting. But I really feel like that as soon as that divorce happens, and y'all, I hope my husband feels, if, you know, to be honest with you, if my husband felt the pain that he put me through, he wouldn't be able to get off the floor. He wouldn't be able to get off the floor. I have no choice to get off the, I have to get off the floor. I got a 2-year-old that we're taking care of. A lot of things, I believe, wouldn't have never happened if other parties wouldn't have intervened. I believe that the way that we got put out of the house, the way that he got locked up, all of this because of a third party. But at the same time, I cannot exclude my husband because he could have just said, stop. Leave my wife alone. Leave my wife alone. But I think that it probably won't hit him until it says divorce. Touch not my anointing, says the Lord, and you'll just do fine. I believe the report of the Lord. You're absolutely right. I had a dream that, I had 2 dreams. I had a dream that I went before the judge and Matthew didn't show up. And so the judge said, I'm going to throw it out. And I said, okay. And I walked away. I think maybe that was probably me wishful thinking. I had also a dream that I went before the judge and I said, and I'm just being very transparent with y'all. I said, Matthew, you can stop this divorce if you don't want it. And he said to the judge, I don't want the divorce. And I woke up from the dream and I said, Lord, it's not me to say it. He has to say it. He has to say, Your Honor, I don't want this divorce. He has to fight for me because you are a strong woman and a great mother. I'm praying for you and family. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that it's I'm just being transparent with y'all. I think that it's I don't want the divorce. So when people say congratulations, I'm like, you know, yeah, girl, we should go out for shots or something. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's one of those things. And then sometimes too, and I'm being transparent with y'all, sometimes I say to myself, he doesn't have a feeling or care in the world, and even about our relationship. And sometimes I'm like, well, Lord, I want that too. Have you talked to your husband at all throughout it? No, y'all, I'm not allowed to speak to him. His father set it up. Mike Hines set it up where I'm not allowed to say nothing. So he put lawyers, and let me tell you how wicked he did. He made sure that he had an entire law firm, which were 3 attorneys. 2 of them were men. But during our divorce, first of all, during our eviction, the same one who did the eviction was Carr. I kept saying Sierra. She's doing a divorce too. So he made it. So just imagine. I'm just going to be very transparent with y'all. Just imagine you in front of the judge. He purposely put another woman to represent Matthew to make it look like it's even out instead of another man. You understand? Like look at the demonic side of it. When we first had to go through the hearing, I'm gonna be very real with y'all. I'm very transparent. Matthew didn't show, so I told the judge, I said, Your Honor, my husband didn't show because he spoke to me. He doesn't want the divorce. I was trying so hard to save my marriage. I was like, that's why he didn't. I said, and she was like, no, Your Honor, he wants the divorce. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. And the whole time I'm sitting up here, and when I left out of that courtroom, maybe you should try to talk to him. That's the thing, I can't. He doesn't answer none of his emails, and the phone numbers have changed. And even when he left the house, his parents said, we're not going to give you his number. So I wasn't allowed to speak to him at all. Plus, they also put, there was a domestic issue too. And they also told him, they basically put it in his head too, not to go back to the house, because if you go back to the house, you're going to get locked up. So they put it in his mind that these things are going to happen. And then something happened during a visitation. Y'all, when I tell you the devil had his hand all up in my marriage, he turned us against each other. And he used my in-laws to do that. When I tell you I tried so hard to save my marriage, I can show you when I had, so they're okay with not seeing their grandchild today. No, I got full legal custody. They don't care about their grandchild. The only thing they want is for this to just disappear. They don't. If they did, they would have asked about her. But I guess when you do so much dirt, you feel like she's not going to say anything. Oh, don't, it's one of those things where it's just, dang, like, okay, I felt like we had a really good relationship. I really did. Like, up until the breakdowns and stuff, we had a really good relationship. And sometimes I ask myself, like, was it a lie? Was it just so he can prove a point to his parents? Or, my mother said, Mona, I believe this is what he wanted because he always does that. But we had a really good relationship. But it seems as if you've been through a storm for a while. Baby, the sun is up. Yeah, you know what? I'm already seeing the sun. Thank you, sis. The sun is going to shine. Yes. I just honestly, divorce is messed up, man. It's not anything that's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Unless you've been beat constantly every single day, God does want us to live in peace, but I mean, come on now, like, yeah. I don't know what it was all for, but sometimes I'm like, well, Lord, and I'm being transparent with y'all. Sometimes I'm like, Father, how come you didn't intervene in this? You could have stopped him from showing up in court, or his father could have put it in his mind or had a dream to stop the attorneys from doing our divorce, or maybe Matthew would have stood up. And I guess the Lord is saying, like, everybody has free will to do what they're supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. And then, I did get to the point when I'm like, I don't feel like praying no more. For what? What am I going to pray about? But then it's like, Mona, you still got to do your will. So, tonight I'm going to say a prayer. Tomorrow's the last day, but it's D-Day. The judge is going to read it out and say, you are hereby divorced in the state of Virginia. And that's some hurtful stuff. I'm just thinking of how much this would have made me angry human. I'm telling you, you're strong. You would think, right? Oh, yeah, it was times when I was angry and I was pissed and I was mad. But then I look at my daughter. She looks, y'all, I got to show y'all up to date of Symphony. She looked like her dad. You can't even be that mad because when you look at your daughter, some people would be like, is that your daughter? She looked like her daddy. She smiles like him and everything. And I thank God that she's alive and she's here. And he helped create that. You know what I'm saying? And maybe, then sometimes I think to myself, maybe he just wanted me to be a baby mama. But I'm like, even in that, he could have left with dignity or had some type of respect for me. I mean, yeah. But yeah, so, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's such a blessing. Thank you. God is good, y'all. I mean, he's been opening up doors for me. So, yeah, it's just I always thought it would be me and him. I used to say Batman and Robin, and I'd be like, okay, you can be Batman. Like I remember when he used to say things like babe or like encourage me and stuff like that. And divorce is just messed up. I hope y'all never experience divorce, but people need to understand when they get married, like, this thing is real. This is not just about, it's not about a lot of people you see in Hollywood so-called get married and they switch spouses. Congrats and blessings to you. Congrats and blessings to you. So yeah, it's not a lot of people, whatever. But I'm gonna be honest with you. A divorce is not a congratulations thing. It's not. When I hear somebody say, I'm facing a divorce, I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Keep your head up. Because, yeah, my head is up. It is. It's just like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like, I want to say tomorrow, Your Honor, just can you hurry up through this? Or can you, like, I really want to say, like, could you just hurry up, And sometimes I find myself thinking, I hope everything that attorney represent, I hope that happens to her. I hope she never finds love. But then I'm like, no, that's not the Christian thing to do. I'm just being transparent with y'all. These are the thoughts that go through my mind. And then I think, like, maybe it just hasn't hit my husband yet. Oh, thank you. Yes. I'm thinking to myself, maybe it hasn't hit him yet. And once the ink dries, he'll say to himself, get over here. Look what I did to my wife. Look what I did with the one woman who loved me so dearly. Because I loved him. I loved him very much. I loved his flaws. I just loved him because I genuinely thought that he had a really good heart, And as a wife, I was ready to do what a wife is supposed to do for her husband. And it was a lot of people that hated us. And that's another thing too, marriages. People that's married, y'all got to be careful. A lot of people smile in y'all face, but they really don't want you to make it. Like when we got married, his own sister didn't even show up for the wedding. So I guess she feels like, hey, if he gets married again, I guess I'll be there. But whatever. I think when we got married, only 3 people on his side showed up for the wedding. And I remember him saying, I think my father feels really regretful for not. I'm sorry to hear what you're going through. Thank you. But this is pretty much the end. It's pretty much the end. This is one mountain that I've been going around for the last 2 years. For the last 2 years. With all that's going on out here, it's about to get real. I think family need to stick together, But sometimes I wonder to myself, because when I was in court, I saw him and I saw his hands fidgeting and stuff. And sometimes I wonder, what is he doing right now? And the first thing that come to my mind, he probably playing video games. I thought the same that you said. Maybe he's just used to have a baby, because no, I think in a way. Well, I'm not sure what you just said, sis, but I think in a way, um, you just didn't want to be married and realize the responsibilities. But it's the way you do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you don't want to be married, you'll say, I'm sorry, but this is just not going to work for me. But to set up all of this and try to hurt me the way you did, that's on another level. And his father thinks that I'm going to gain brownie points for my son for doing his wife this way. And I guess they thought it was some type of sport tag teaming your wife. But you know, the truth is that if a man can put, you two had been through so much together, it seems like all the happy parts just, bottom line is this: no man, and I want y'all to listen to what I say when I say this. No man will respect another man that dogs his wife. No man would do that, not even a father. He wouldn't trust you. You had a job, and that was to protect. And even if you did not want to be married, it's a respect that you're supposed to do when you walk away from it. Like, that's the mother of my child. I'm not going to do that to her. So when you do that, and you didn't even get wise counsel from your own father to say, okay, son, this is what we're going to do. Or not we, because you got married on your own. This is what you should do. And with my in-laws, it's going to always ball within. I hope this divorce, as sad as it is, will bring peace now that is. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I don't know how that would bring that, but I guess I can say thank you. I don't know. I hope that this divorce, as sad as it is, will bring peace. Well, what you don't understand is that I'm already at peace. But this divorce will be a divorce because you won't be in court. Exactly. Heck yeah. One thing, amen to that. I don't want to go to court no more. Because it stops you from doing what you got to do. I'm trying to provide for my baby. Like, how can I do that if I'm always in court? And I'm going to tell you something, too. Like, these judges up here in Virginia, man, they're prejudiced. I'm going to tell you another thing, too, being very transparent with y'all. I've learned that racism is very much alive. Honey, you're strong. Symphony's lucky to have it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I've learned a lot, like... But you should see, like, this. I don't know if I told y'all, but the judge had to put the attorney in line because she turned around and was like, no. I mean, just, okay, I'm going to tell y'all. Look on the spiritual side of it. There is a woman that is coming in between my marriage, and she is the lawyer doing the divorce. Look at the spiritual side of it. And I was fighting for my divorce. I mean, I was not divorced, but I was fighting for my marriage. Y'all, if y'all can see, when he first filed for a divorce, I put in a response, but I filed it the wrong way. And I was like, he can't get a divorce. It is 151% repairable. I was trying so bad. I know one thing. I'll be able to actually walk away and say, man, I tried like heck for my marriage. But I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be glad that I don't ever have to go to court about this ever again. He might realize after divorce that he made a huge mistake. You're such a wonderful, strong woman. Thank you, sis. And you know what? I really believe he will. And let me tell you why. Because let's go back to scripture. A man that finds a wife, he finds a good thing, and he obtains favor from the Lord. The Lord says, I hate divorce. So if you're the one who filed for it and you did your wife that way, you think you're going to go out here and be blessed? You think you're going to go out here? I was just telling another friend of mine, after all the dog mess you did, you think the Lord going to bless him with somebody good? I'm going to tell you some real stuff, okay? Can I be transparent with y'all? So y'all know I love both of my parents. But years ago, they were married. My father left my mother, and she went ahead and filed for a divorce because she said he had already abandoned her. Matter of fact, the woman that he started talking to knew that my father was married. And I remember calling him, and she would be on the phone. I would hang up the phone because I'm like, that's not my mother. Well, anyway, when my mother divorced him, they got married. Needless to say, they ended up having 2 sets of twins. The youngest is autistic. And when I tell y'all some real stuff, I've witnessed my father go through hell with this woman. He hasn't lived with this woman in almost 18 years. She's never cooked. She's never cleaned. And just recently, and this is a whole nother video, just recently he had to get a protective order against his own children, which are my younger siblings, which happens to be her children. And I realized you was never supposed to be with this woman. Now, my mother I'm a new subby. I think your journey is so inspiring. You have been through a lot, but how you're overcoming it. Oh, God bless you too. But y'all, I feel like if my father would have stuck with my mother, he wouldn't be on dialysis. He would have great health. He would have been retired. Their house would have been paid off. Oh yeah, I'm being transparent with you. I look at it and I'm just like, all of this is because you were cheating and you married this woman. They have not, I'm trying to tell you, even to the point where it's just like I've had enough of it. In my father's old age, y'all, I gotta tell y'all the story what happened before Christmas. Yes, my younger siblings tried to jump my father. Oh, come on, Solo, come on. You seen the dog. They tried to jump my father. And I got whiff of it, and so did Coco, and y'all already know. But that's another story. But bottom line, this was a product of the person you married. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, you want to know what's real crazy about that situation? My youngest sister, which is 17 years old, girl, she took his phone and put a passcode on it so he wouldn't be able to call for help or call the police. When my father called me about that on Christmas Eve, you already know. That's another story. But all of this is a product because you married that woman. You married that woman and he ain't been with her. They ain't been living together. I ain't never seen someone so trifling in my life. People think that if you jump out of one marriage and marry somebody else, that it's going to fulfill it. But no, that's not right. Heck no, that's not right. I'm old school. I was brought up. You'll never raise your hand on your parents or you bully your parents, you know. But and the thing about it is, and I'm like, they crazy. I don't mean to talk about my siblings like that, but I'm like, daggone well, he got older children. What you think that wasn't gonna hit back home? Y'all, that's a whole nother story. I'll tell y'all about that next time. But I'm gonna tell you this much. My eye was twitching. I'm like, say what? And I should have never called Coco, because when I called her, she went off. Needless to say, he got a protective order against his own children, with his own young adult children that he had by another woman. Now, what happened. I still love them, even though they need a good tail whooping. But all of this was because you didn't do right by your wife. And then I think too, because, yeah, girl, whoa, right? I ain't never in my life, if I could tell y'all what he's told me, and I had to take pictures of my father bruises too, but needless to say that, when I showed up on the scene, God got a whole lot of plan for him. Yeah, I think so. I think that God has a lot of plan for him. But you know what I'm looking forward to, y'all? I'm looking forward to moving in my own home, my own house, my own keys with my name on the deed. And never will somebody tell me to get out. I think that me and him, we could have did a lot. I think Tiffany would have enjoyed her daddy. Yeah, I really do believe that. But a lot of people didn't like it. His father, his mother, everybody hated it. So you married people out there, a lot of people smile all up in your face. But they hate that you married. They hate you go home to your husband. And they send those demons over there to try to ruin it. Oh, yeah, girl, almost look. One thing Mona not going to be is without. And I thank God because I'm like, you know what? I'm going for mine. But this time, I learned my lesson. But to him, yeah, a lot of people don't like that. They sweeping down, but the whole time they hating. Misery loves company only on earth, because not even in hell do they want you to go down there. They be like, let me just warn my family. But they hated it. They hated the simple fact that we got married. And they hated the fact, let me tell you another thing too. They hated the fact that he had a job, that he was doing good, and he didn't need his mom and his dad. Some parents, they don't want to let go. Mama-in-law got to feel like she got to control her son or her daughter. That's why you got to be very careful and don't allow everybody to be in your marriage. Because they'll say that what you need to do is this, and the whole time their marriage done fell apart. Or for a fact that this man done cheated on his wife multiple times and she closed her eyes to it. Or, it's just all types of things. That's why you don't allow people in your marriage. Don't ever, because I'm going to tell you where it really kicked off at is that when things started to hit the thing, and when I told his parents about it, or they ain't married themselves, life, how can you talk? Exactly. They never been married, but they mad at you. I got a good friend right now. Her mother-in-law can't stand her. And you know why? Because she is married, and her mother-in-law is still not married to the father. Oh, yeah, jealousy in the family. People hate it. They see you going on. They see you growing. They hate it. So, just be very prayerful over your own marriage. Don't allow everybody in it. And I'm going to tell you something, too. If you go out, make sure you go out with married people. Don't be going out there with single folks that's trying to, girl, why don't you hang out with me? Trust me, before I got married, people wanted me to go out and wild out before I got married. I'm like, I'm not doing that crazy stuff. You crazy? You got to have one more wild out moment. No. Mother-in-law all up in your house. I've been through that with my mother-in-law. That's crazy. I don't understand what's wrong with these mother-in-laws. Don't they know they're going to get old and one day they may need somebody to change their diapers? But some of them are jealous. They hate the simple fact that you married my son. Like, what the hell? Was you trying to marry him? Like, when my husband first left the house, I'm like, tell him to come back home. I fed him some food. I washed his clothes. What you washing his clothes for? We got a washer and dryer over here. But it was like, when I did this, I'm like, what you do that? And I'm going to tell you what they did. When he went over there, they enabled him. And I got on them, too, and told them, why would you enable him? There's nothing wrong with him. But it was like, well, we didn't know. No, you did it purposely. You did it purposely. And now, when the judge decides whatever it's going to be tomorrow, you're going to have to deal with it for the remainder of your life. And he may have to go through life when his parents are old and gray and they can't take care of themselves, and he not going up there visiting them. He's going to have to deal with that. He's going to be by himself. There's definitely something wrong with him. I know that. But I married him. I know that. But this is the thing. And I'm being transparent with y'all. Very transparent before I go in the house. Okay, there's definitely something wrong with it. I have a friend. Let me tell you about my friend. She married this man and she knew how he was before he had a breakdown. This man has schizophrenia and all this other stuff. He come in and out, but he know who his wife is. And she deals with him every day, and she still shows him respect. At the end of the day, he has someone that not only loves him, but she even respects him, even with his illness. I believe that they lack something in their own marriage. But even in his illness, she respects him. And I remember sometimes we used to go out with them, and Matt used to get upset and be like, I don't feel like going out because I feel like I'm babysitting him. But we respected him because that was her husband. That was her husband. But the thing is that at the end of the day, that was his security. If anything happens, his wife was there. The thing with Matthew is that I fear that when his parents get old, ain't nobody gonna be there. His sister, she sure likes to ignore things. Who's gonna be there? But that's not my... He had a choice in it all. He had a choice in it all. So, y'all, I'm about to go back in the house. My hands are freezing. But I'm going to be going through my divorce tomorrow. And I got to go before the judge and hear him say, you're divorced. Well... So I'll speak to y'all later. Y'all just make sure y'all be prayed up over your marriages. Don't allow these demons and these people to come around your marriage. If you have anything bad to say it under your own breath about your husband. Oh, thank you. It was nice that y'all listening to me. Don't ever go back to your in-laws and say anything about your husband, because all they're going to do is use that. Even if it's don't even ask no help for them. Good advice, Mona. Thanks. So you're welcome. Y'all just make sure you're very prayerful over your marriage and just keep everybody else out of it. And if you do decide to get married, you better make sure that the other person is 110% in it. Because what I've been seeing is that it's always the other spouse that wants the divorce. I thought divorces really ended up because both spouses got upset, but no, it's the other spouse. Even with my father and my mother, it was my mother who initiated the divorce. And sometimes I think, like, Mommy, maybe if you wouldn't have touched it and just prayed, maybe it would have worked out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all just make sure y'all pray that. Keep everybody out of your stuff, and I'll speak to y'all tomorrow.